Traders are still concerned over the coronavirus impact, including the overall panic and the global economic slowdown. In our video review on InstaForex TV channel, we will find out which macroeconomic reports can give us signs of the upcoming stagnation. Next trading week will start with the publication of China's manufacturing PMI data for February. Most analysts suppose that the indicator can resume the downward movement as markets are pricing in the fight against the coronavirus. China's manufacturing PMI is likely to drop to 45.1 points. Thus, the dollar-yuan pair is also expected to fall. On this background, demand for the safe haven assets can significantly grow. On Monday, the ISM manufacturing PMI data is slated for release in the United States. Economists believe that there will be a slowdown in the indicator's growth. The business activity in the US manufacturing sector is expected to decline to 50.5 points or even lower. Such a disappointing report can make the year's Fed introduce stimulating measures. The news may prompt market participants to sell off the US dollar. Australia's economy has long been showing signs of the necessity to cut the key interest rate. The main reasons are bushfires that occurred at the beginning of the year and falling activity in the Chinese industrial sector. The fact is that the most part of Australia's raw materials is exported to China. However, Reserve Bank Governor Philip Lowe is rather optimistic about the current economic situation in Australia. He prefers not to hurry with the monetary policy easing. Moreover, market participants were surprised when Philip Lowe said that there was no strong need to strive for the inflation targeted level. The Australian dollar is expected to show a short-term rise if the RBA kept the key rate unchanged. At the same time, the European Central Bank is still closely monitoring the inflation figures. On Tuesday, Eurozone will disclose a preliminary February report on the consumer price index. In January, the indicator hit a 9-month high of 1.4%. That's why analysts forecast a correction to 1.2%. The euro can lose ground if data meets the forecasts. Canada's economic situation is also rather jittery. The fact is that the coronavirus is having a significant impact on energy consumption, whereas the country's economy greatly depends on it. Taking into account quite a strong inflation growth, the Bank of Canada will hardly cut the benchmark interest rate. However, the regulator can choose a more dovish stance, the USD cut back in advance if the prediction comes true. The US dollar can also be supported by the ISM non-manufacturing PMI data. In January, the indicator reached the highest level in the last 5 months. According to the forecast, the non-manufacturing PMI will remain unchanged. That, in its turn, can boost the US assets. On top of the above-mentioned events, traders will also pay attention to the publication of the following statistics. On Monday, market will publish its manufacturing PMI reports for the world's largest economies. On Tuesday, the Consumer Confidence Index is slated for release in Japan. Besides, Switzerland is planned to disclose its GDP data. On Wednesday, market is expected to reveal its services PMI reports. Moreover, the US will report on non-farm employment change. You were watching Forex Daily Calendar on InstaForex TV channel with me, Kate Tikhina. We wish you profitable deals.